Welcome to the What's Our Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-hosts, Mattson Heiner.
Better read than dead.
And Ian Anderson.
Some shit.
As always, we appreciate your help growing the podcast. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, bell notification button. Go check out our website, whatsourverdict.com, where you can sign up for a newsletter to get exclusive content and updates. Pick up some sweet, sweet merch. Interact with us and listen to our What's Our Verdict TV podcast episodes as well, which should be picking up soon, guys, in June with Loki. We'll get back into it with Loki because that looks like it's going to be phenomenal. So, yeah. So this is our spoiler-free review. Our deep dive reviews are available every Monday wherever fine podcasts are found. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Ghana, just to name a few. And as always, it's completely free to watch or listen. The question we always ask is, if you ever find yourself wondering if you should spend the time, money, or both on a movie, to help with that question, each week we put a movie on trial, discuss the facts, pass judgment, and let you know our verdict. During our spoiler-free review here, we'll rate movies on a 3-tiered scale. Worth it, meaning you should definitely watch this movie as soon as possible. Stream it, meaning wait until you can watch it for free. And finally, not impressed, meaning you probably shouldn't watch it at all. And today we're reviewing Army of the Dead. It was released May 21st, 2021. It was written and directed by Zack Snyder. It stars Dave Bautista, Ella Purnell, Omari Hardwick, Anna de la Reguera, Matthias Schweighöfer, Garrett Dillahunt, Tig Notaro, Raul Castillo, and Hiroki Sanada. Following a zombie attack outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing past the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. That is a very generous intro from IMDb, gentlemen. Yeah. So, spoiler free. Let's dive in. I'll start. I was massively disappointed in this movie. Look, Zack Snyder's not my favorite director by any stretch. We've had this conversation a few times now on the pod, but my biggest problem with this one is I didn't have high expectations because it's Zack Snyder, but I had decent expectations because in 2004, he wrote and directed one of my favorite zombie movies, Dawn of the Dead. It's tense.
He did?
Yeah,
wow.
The one where they're in
That's
the mall.
Good movie.
Yeah, the one where they're trapped in the mall. They stay in the mall forever. Yeah, it's tense. It's funny. It's got all the action that you want. It's interesting movie. It explores some different themes. And then so I thought this was going to be a sequel to that, which would have been really cool considering how it ended. But no, it wasn't a sequel to that. And 2, I don't know what the hell happened to Zack Snyder with his zombie movies because this movie sucked. God, I was so pissed. It was so bad. It's overbloated. The characters I don't care about except for like 2. And I'm barely at that. It's just because they were funny together. So there's very little that I can say about this movie that I enjoyed. It had typical Zack Snyder slow-mo that was completely unnecessary. 2.5-hour long zombie movie. What the hell, Zach? Come on, man. I get your 4-hour Snyder cut for, Justice League. I can justify that, but a 2.5-hour. In fact, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's more accurate, 2 hours and 40 minutes. For a zombie movie, come on, dude. You're up in the night if you think that makes sense. I turned it on. Well, you guys know, I texted you. I was like, what? Who the hell makes a 2.5-hour freaking zombie
I knew
movie?
when I told Taylor, I was like, when someone texts about a movie before we've all watched it, it's usually 9 times out of 10 a big warning sign that we're in for a terrible time.
Yeah. I seriously pulled it up.
That's how I always take it.
What? I'm expecting a nice hour and 45 minute, maybe 2 hours at most. Oh, hell no. Zack Snyder's like, hold my beer, bitches, and makes a 2 hour and 40-minute zombie movie. Good God. Anyway, so for my rating, spoiler free, look, I did not enjoy this movie. It had a couple of redeeming qualities at times, but for the most part, I'm not impressed. You don't need to watch this thing. It's not worth your 2.5 hours, in my opinion. So, Ian, what about you, buddy?
It's funny looking back on where we came up with not impressed. That was Zack Snyder's, doing a little bit, and that it now is coming back to haunt him.
That's fair.
It's funny, JJ. You mentioned like 2 characters that were like kind of redeeming, and I think I've felt the exact same way, where there's two characters that kind of got me through the slog of this movie, and there just isn't much there. Like, if you wanted nothing but maybe some violence, you might get a little bit out of it, but everything else is just, like I said, it was a slog to get through. 2.5 hours is way too long. It should be like an hour and a half. You could have cut out entire like character interactions or one or two characters, and it would have made it a better film, I think. So yeah, not impressed.
All right. Matt, finish up our spoiler free, sir.
I need to save my rant on Mr. Snyder for something else. But other than that, this movie, why did we pick it? That's why I wanted to ask. Were we just excited? We thought it was going to be something?
Well, that, and it's the only thing that is out. Like, we got another, like, next week's great. Can't wait.
I think it's the case of being paralyzed by nothing being out, because I walked into this having mild expectations, because I thought it was going to be kind of like comical and Vegas backdrop, some actors that were, I mean, not great, but not bad. So I definitely, once it started, we got about, honestly, like, I was already annoyed after the opening credits, and I think we'll get into that here shortly, why that bothered me. But this movie, it left me wondering, from the timeline to how long from when it happened to when they were with Vegas to when this started, the motivations for the characters to go get said money, the grouping of these characters, to the style with the music, to the slow-mo, to some of the jokes. I think the phrase that comes out to me most is this movie tried too hard. It tried too hard to get me to want to laugh, to want to be invested. It was too over the top and in your face. And you're just like, why? I don't know. I felt like I was forced to want to like this. And then when you make it, I mean, look at the runtime of this movie, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Another thing is trying too hard. Like, let's go for an hour and 45 at most, something like that. So you can already tell this movie was absolute garbage. This is a poor movie. We've seen worse movies, but this is a really bad one. So absolutely not impressed. We'll never sniff, look up, discuss this movie again after this. I might actually, because it'll make me think of zombie movies. I'll be like, that one sucked. Being Army of the Dead. Ugh.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. And I love a good zombie movie, man. Like, I usually get excited for like a decent zombie movie, but this was not that, not even remotely. And I've been looking forward to it, like I said, because all I could think about was Dawn of the Dead. Zack Snyder wrote, directed it, did a great job with it. It's probably one of my top 5 zombie movies of all time. And this one just, ugh. What the hell? Anyway. All right, well, there's our spoiler-free. Skip this one unless you're wanting to listen to it for the sake of the pod. Other than that, let us tell you how bad it is. And join us for our deep dive on Monday, the 24th, and hear all about how much we dislike this in detail. So with that, Matt, tell them where else they can find us.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at whatsourverdict.com. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Ghana, whole bunch of other places. Come check out our merch. You want to buy a sweet sticker of me, if you want to make fun of JJ and slap his face on your binder, float your boat, come talk to us. We want to hear from you guys.
Absolutely. Cool. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!